What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. Match reaction time. And yeah, it's one foot in the grave, isn't it? It's almost done. 2 years of absolute misery on the pitch. It's almost done. So yeah, Leeds United. I mean, there's so much to talk about today in terms of the setup of the team, who we were playing, the conditions they were playing in, and we served up that. We don't deserve to stay up. We don't deserve to stay up, man. Gary Theakston here, just not good enough. No fight, passion, and no clue. Yeah. And shout out to Russ, who's become a member of the channel. Thank you so much. Memberships are in the description. And shout out to Liam Moore as well for his super thanks on the last video. I don't even know where to start on this one. Ooh. Yeah, Richard, I know. Rinse and repeat. And you know what, Richard? There's going to be a few other things that I've said multiple times over the season that we're going to be saying again. So get ready for another replay. Liam B saying Leeds are just not good enough all season. Yeah, I hear you. Somebody here with Darren. I hate this squad of players. I absolutely hate them. Hate's a strong word, but yeah, not a lot of them are very likable, are they? Not a lot of them are very likable. But this goes beyond so much. And this look, we'll talk about all this stuff come the end of the season when we do our end of season review. I don't know, that's going to be one of the longest streams ever, I think. But yeah, how we've lost today 3-1 when it could have been in our hands. Considering yesterday's results as well with Everton, I thought Everton were going to go to Wolves and win yesterday, but they didn't. They drew. They lost Calvert-Lewin in the process. They lost Patterson in the process. And you're thinking, okay, take advantage of that. But we go and do something. We always go one better on the negative side, don't we? We always can one up somebody when it comes to just choking it out, absolutely choking it. Ryan saying he's so upset. Yeah, I hear you. SJ44, the best thing about Leeds at the moment is your stream. Yeah. I mean, yeah, listen, thanks for everyone tuning in. Thanks to everyone tuning in. Obviously, we've been doing this for a few years now, and it's just draining the life out of me. Listen, I started the day off well, man. I went gym, felt good, and then I saw the team sheets, and I thought, whoa, West Ham have come out a bit strong. I see Bowen, I see Rice. I'm thinking, what's going on here? But then you look beforehand, and you see them out there. They've got their kids with them. It looks like they're in party mode. The way they started as well. The way they started was pretty bad, and we started pretty well. Tell me if you've heard this one before. We started well. It looked like West Ham were kind of on the beach, and we didn't step on them. We didn't kick their backs in enough. And as soon as we go 1-0 up, I don't know what we were doing retreating, thinking we can defend for the rest of the game. I don't know where the evidence is to say that we can do that over the past 2-3 years. But you can't step off them. We should have got a second one. We should have gone for a second, but I don't know what they were doing. As soon as we scored, West Ham just came on top, and they were going and going. And eventually, it was obvious they were going to break through. We was never ever going to keep a 1-0 lead for the rest of the game. I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, Jim, we let them win that. No fight, no confidence, no quality. I mean, in the end, I mean, it was party mode for West Ham because Paqueta in particular, we're going to speak about him because he was brilliant today, but he was doing party tricks early in the second half. And no one, and you know what I'm like, people, I'm not saying break anyone's leg, but no one went into him after. They just carried on. It was so passive. Defensively, no pressing. It was all just passive today. I put more effort in the gym this morning than those players did on the pitch today. No lie, no lie. I honestly cannot believe what we've witnessed today, people. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very disappointed. The nerves were kicking in as we're coming up to the game. And listen, I'm in here by myself today. And when we scored that Rodrigo goal from McKennie's throw, man, I screamed so loud. I yelled so loud. I thought the neighbors might call the police. It was that loud. I thought, okay. But you know what we like when we go 1-0 up, and there is a stat to say, I think it's our 12th time going ahead. I think we've done it 2 more times than anybody, and then someone the other team have equalized. Just poor. I mean, I thought that could be it, and we build from there. West Ham are, they're thinking about Europe. They've got to European final. A few of them have been drinking before, but nah. We saw that at the end of Everton's game yesterday. I said yesterday when it was 9 minutes, I thought Everton are going to equalize. It's so obvious they're going to equalize. We get 7 minutes today, and not only we not equalize, we concede one and almost concede one right at the end as well. Just pathetic. It's pathetic. Uh, told Ken saying, don't even know what to say. At 1-0, we should have made the game ours. We can't control the ball or possession. That's a massive problem for us. And yeah, no, look, the fact that we can't pass the ball to, it seems like we can't do a sequence of three passes. And you look at Everton's goal in the clutch yesterday, like last minute, they're 1-0 down at Wolves, and their three centre halves put together a passing sequence to get an equalizer. Could you imagine our three centre halves in clutch moments like that doing that? I know I can't. Just poor, absolutely poor. And I can't wait to talk about this all at the end of the season. We should have done better in the transfer markets, man. And I go back to my video in the summer when I was suggesting players like Morgan Gibbs White. Yes, it was pricey. I was suggesting other players like a slew of left backs to come in, and we've gone nowhere near that kind of quality. Nowhere near that kind of quality, and that's why we're in the position now. And like I say, with Victor Orta, he recruited players. They obviously do have ability, but I don't think you check their mental because every one of these players look mentally weak. We concede the goal, heads down. How many times have we said that again? Seems like we're replaying the same video over and over again, doesn't it? Um, Darren here saying we don't seem to keep to a structure, ailing all over the pitch except for in the right back position. Yeah, I mean, look, there's no point going into real individual performances today because it's all as bad as each other. All as bad as each other. I mean, Ailing at one point, Harrison passed the ball back to him and he just let it go out of play. I don't know if anyone saw that, but he just let the ball bounce over his foot and go out of his play. He didn't even bounce over his foot. It was a simple pass back to him on the right hand side. He went out of play. There's just so many things to that. I mean, I just, and this is the last stream as well, by the way, until Friday. So I'll be back Friday for the Spurs preview. So set your bells, turn your notifications on because I'm having a little break next week. But yeah, I'll be back Friday for the Spurs preview. So just keep that in mind, people. If you don't see me next week. Um, Tom saying we were screwed as soon as Bamford came off. He's not good enough, but integral to how we play. I mean, look, they were coming on top of us, pause, before he went off anyway. They were starting to build sustained pressure before he went off. But there was times that in the game early on, especially when he was running down the sides, and I noted it down that we was getting some joy down their wings, and both him and Rodrigo were doing well together. I mean, he was still miscontrolling it. I mean, he tried to side foot the ball in the air over to his right and it went to his left. I mean, he was still, Bamford in that kind of sense. But yeah, we did lose a little bit of an element of what he can give you. But that's just one part of it. It shouldn't take one part of the whole team to then just all of them collapse. It shouldn't. It shouldn't take that. Oh man. Andrew here saying, looking at Bamford's name on the team sheet, I know we're doomed. I mean, look, we can talk about our team sheet, but this is something for the end of the season. But it just goes to show, doesn't it, when we're making changes? I think it was Strauch and Forshaw in for Greenwood and Furpo. I mean, that just tells you everything that you need to know of the quality of the team. It tells you everything you need to know. It doesn't matter in the end. It doesn't matter who you put on because even Nanto today, Nanto started to finally look like a £4 million player. He started to look like that. The air shots today, the miscontrol, the constant fouls. I mean, he was poor today when he came on. It could be a lack of confidence from not getting starts when he should have had runs in the team, but he was poor today. Real poor off the bench. I thought when he would come on for Bamford, I thought, okay, this is a kind of game. You saw West Ham were leaving stuff open for us. He didn't exploit anything. And that break when Rodrigo, oh my days, at the end of the half, Rodrigo nicks it off Zuma. I'm thinking, go on, Rod, just put it in. He checks back and you think, all right, Nanto's going to get it. What do these guys do? Honestly, where is the composure? Like where is the composure in the final third from any of these players? Like what if it Nanto then mishits it? It then goes out to Harrison, who takes a touch and just skews it wide anyway. Honestly, these these guys are absolute scrubs, man. Scrubs, all of them. And I can't wait. Whatever happens next summer, this summer, I want to see a overhaul of this team. I don't care if somehow we beat Tottenham next week and Everton and Leicester somehow lose. I don't care. I want to see a lot of these guys called out in the summer. And I don't want any fans, if we somehow survive, to go, oh, you know what? They did so well to keep us up. Let's keep them for another year. Nah, none of that. We need to get rid of this. We look like the most vulnerable team when it comes to defending off the counter. Every time a team goes forward, it looks like we're going to concede every single time. It's so poor. We got what have we got? 30 something points. We're not even talking 39, 38. We're talking just scraping 30 points. Pathetic. This team, man, and people have got the nerve to defend some of these players. Some of these players that keep letting us down because of one promotion. I've seen our team get to the Champions League semi-finals. I don't want to hear about promotion. If have they got us to, have they beaten Barcelona? No. Have they beaten Milan? No. They haven't done none of that. They don't deserve the backing of the fans. The fans today stayed until much longer than they should have as well. I don't blame the fans for starting to pile out when we went 3-1 down. No one should criticize the fans. How many times have we been served up this rubbish for the last 2 years? And he's saying we need to be ruthless in the close season. No old buddies act. We'll see, won't we? We will see what will happen. A lot of these players need to go. We're going to do a video at the end of the season with, like a buy, keep, sell, keep. We'll see. We'll see how many make it on the keep. And probably the ones that I want to keep will probably be the ones leaving anyway. A lot of them need to leave regardless. We should be talking about some of these players moving on to Yeovil and stuff. But in the end now, we're probably going to need some of them to help get us back up. These. If I say what I want to say, people, they ban me for 6 months. They will. Jive saying, Big Sam, yeah, Big Sam's lost 2 out of 3. Look, it was what I will say though is that it was worth a roll of the dice for me, because if we was here under Gracia, I think we would have had an R next to our name a couple weeks ago. Really and truly, I think that would have been the case. It was worth a shot, but it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. There's no quality. There's no quality on the ball. They're absolutely dreadful, man. Hey, West Ham's third goal, how Paqueta just danced around the team. It looked like we were an under fives team, and like one of the dads had come on the pitch and was just having fun with the kids. It was absolutely pathetic. How dare you defend like that in a game that is a must win? And West Ham have they've been traveling. They've come back from Europe. When? I don't know. Was it Friday? And we've had all week to prepare for this, and that is what you want to serve up. Oh boy. Hey. Like I say, don't let me speak too much, people. Don't let me speak too much. Let me get some super chats in before they go. Liam Moore, down, down, down. Come on, and the conga. Parrot House, thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Ian, I'm glad I didn't get my hopes too high. I know Leeds are going to Leeds. We're still going to go to the final day, but we know what's happening there. Lee Waters, we haven't looked like a Premier League side for 2 years. We haven't got the mentality or the fight. How is this any fun? It's a joke and a mess. Barney saying, KG, thank you for not being a homer like the other content creators. McKennie is the only player that we have that takes even a second to think before kicking it up. Just terrible squad building. Chicken without. I don't know what that last emoji is. Sorry, can't see it. But thank you anyway. Gary with the super chat. Thank you, Gary. Resident Alien. Auto squad building is a joke. Rubbish at goalkeeper, left back, right back, centre mid, striker, and no creative mid. What the, WTF? Bob saying, KG, hi KG, bunch of unlikable players who have no minerals for the fight. Ailing Moni at Somerville like his prime Danny Alves, and he's captain. Yeah, I saw that as well. That's what I'm saying. And that's after the ball rolled over his foot. That's after the ball rolled over his foot and out of play, and he wants to talk to Somerville, somebody that at least tries to keep the ball. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. The room is rotten. And it's rotten full of average players who think that they're better than they are because fans keep on gassing them up every time they do something right. They've got to go in the summer. I don't care that his year extension was triggered. Get him out, man. Get him out. Get him out. There's a whole bunch that need to go. A whole bunch that need to go. No, no cap. No cap. Jimmy saying no manager alive can get a tune out of this team. It's proven, Jimmy. It's proven. They when Bielsa went, some of these players gave up on him, and this is something that fans seem to forget. They gave up on Bielsa. Some of these guys would be playing for Cheltenham if it wasn't for Bielsa, but they gave up on him. We bring in Jesse Marsh. He tries to influence a new way. They don't get the message there. He has to go. Was it Skubala next? You know, the take care manager, caretaker manager. No, we can't do it for you either. We're going to go to Everton and let Seamus Coleman score a goal, a free goal as well with that, with Melier standing on the halfway line. So he goes. Gracia comes in. What a nightmare. For me, overall this season, I know Jesse Marshall's got his critics, but for me, Gracia was the worst of them all. Absolute worst of them all. But they don't do nothing for him either because he's a soft touch. He had substitute teacher vibes. They knew that he weren't going to stay. And now Sam comes in. He can't get a tune. Guys, the common denominator is the players. It's the players. It always has been. And that is why when I said 3 years ago, 2 years ago, that you need to sell these players on, and a lot of you was telling me that I didn't know what I was talking about. This is why. Because they were never Premier League players. Once the running left from Bielsa, that was it. It was game over because none of them had the technical ability. None of them. Oh, man. Sickening today. Absolutely sickening. John with the super chat. Thank you, John. Thanks for everything this season. Shout out Big Sam for giving us a few laughs. Yeah, listen, the funniest thing today was Big Sam finding that fiver and trying to bribe the official as a joke, by the way. But that was good. That seems so long ago now. And off you go. Um, Backtrick Panther. I can't get you. Things gone now. Things gone. Liam saying, shout out to you, Liam. They were just standing around at points and letting the ball go out of play. That's what I mean. We are a pathetic football team. There's no defending it. We are a pathetic football team. Weak in defense, midfielders barely can pass to each other, strikers that don't score goals. Rodrigo today, by the way, I mean, he battled on today. It looks like he might have to put some ice on something. Hopefully, he's good for Tottenham next week. But Rodrigo's got 13 goals this season. 13. And a lot of our troubles, this is why the stream's going to be so long at the end of the season. But some of our troubles are not only the players that have played, but players that have been unavailable. And Rodrigo's got 13 goals in this pathetic team, and he was out for about 2 months. It shows you him, Sinistera, lack of availability for some of the players that we do have has hurt us big time. But the majority of these guys, boy, oi. 3-1. Let me deep it, people. Must win today. Must win. Must win today. After all the results that have happened this weekend, Leicester go to Newcastle tomorrow. You think Newcastle will beat Leicester, but never mind that. Must win. West Ham on their jollies, thinking about a European final, and they still did that to us today. We don't deserve nothing out of this season. It's actually going to be a disgrace if we happen to stay up. That's the way I feel right now. That's the exact way I feel right now. The club itself sounds Premier League, Leeds United, but everything in it, it's poor. It's absolutely poor. And I don't know what's going to happen to us when we go to the championship. Yeah, listen, anyone telling me to calm down, you're going to get blocked. I don't care if you're a long-term subscriber or not. Don't tell me how to react. Seriously, don't do it. I don't tell you guys how to act. Don't tell me how to react either. Darren here saying Rodrigo is the only one who cares. I mean, look, towards the end, you know, he put something on Emerson. Did you see that when he just ran into him, got a yellow card? That's cool. But I think he was being left on because if we could fashion out a chance, but if you could, let me finish that off. If we could fashion out a chance that he would be the one to put it away, and I understand that. But we come out in the second half, people, and we were flat. There was no energy. There was nothing. It wasn't until like the 57th minute where Harrison got a crossing down the right and, sums it up, doesn't it? McKennie puts the header wide, high and wide. But when Nanto was running onto it, who was better placed? Just, wait, boy. let me, you know what? You know what? Let me try and get some composure back. Let me try and get some composure back. Honestly, man, why do we put our hopes into this team? How why? I mean, let me speak for myself. I don't know why I thought that they could go to West Ham and do something today. Honestly, I don't know why. Nothing this season tells me that they could have done anything, but here I am expecting something. Not expecting, just hoping. And the hope is gone. Mark Jones with a super chat. Thank you. Could be a good thing. Clear out new manager and build around the kids. Great content, mate. Get yourself a super malt bud. Best lead Schubert on here. The thing is, for me, Mark, we should have been clearing out new manager in the Prem. It shouldn't have taken a relegation to do it. But it's that saying, man. Those that don't hear must feel. My mom says it all the time, and she's right. When you're telling I'm telling you guys, I've been saying to you guys, a lot of these players aren't good. They're not good. The only thing that I thought would keep us up was our goals. If we could keep our team fit, they're not good players, and they've proven it over 2 years. And yet we went back. We started the summer. We ended the first transfer window with the same defensive core. Unbelievable. And we conceded like 600 goals last year. Incredible. Econ saying we will always be there. They don't deserve us. Yeah, this bunch of players definitely don't deserve this fan base. No way. Aaron saying who you want as manager next season. Benitez for me. Aaron, yep, that's kind of at the end of the season. Aaron, thank you for the super chat though, but I'm not really thinking about that at this point in time. Ryan saying, calm down. When we're on the run this bad as a football club with our average championship squad in our third season, come on, it's infuriating. This is what I mean. This is what I'm saying. I know everyone supports their teams differently. I get it. But we've literally been served up doo-doo for 2 years. 2 years, we got players in here that should never have been at Leeds United. Never. But yet you've got people that calm down. It's only a game. It's not just a game, though, is it? It's not just a game. There's people that work at Leeds United whose livelihoods are going to be affected. I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about other people. There's businesses that will get affected. It's not just a game, people. We do this stuff. We support our clubs because we love them. We love the clubs. So it's not about calming down. I don't know how anyone is calm after watching that. I don't know how you don't feel let down. I don't know how you feel let down and just annoyed. I don't get it. But like I say, everyone supports their club differently. I get it. Lee saying not over yet. Leeds will batter Tottenham 5 or 6-0 easily. You know what? You know how it is, Lee. We're very Leedsy. They're Spursy. We could beat them 5-0, and then Everton and Leicester go and win their games. It's just the way, isn't it? That would not surprise you, would it? Tintin, I feel rubbish and embarrassed. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Alfie, don't forget it's impossible for us to go down, and things like that don't help. Things like that don't help. At Radrazani, sometimes communication is good, but sometimes just leave it. We barely escaped with our lives last season, barely. And that's only because we had that winner, that guy, him, the La Liga winner, Rafinha this season. We only escaped because of that guy. That guy put the club and the team on his back. He could have phoned that in. It would have been easy for him to go to Barcelona on a relegation release clause, but he kept the team up. That's the only reason. But yeah, here we are, Radrazani saying that we were going to finish 10 to 14th. How? With what defense? I don't know. Gary saying these players don't care; they will move on and not bat an eyelid. It's disgusting. And you know what? This is what I say to people because some of the players do care. I'm not going to say none of them don't, but the thing is, it's a job for them. They love football, but they don't love the club. They don't love Leeds United. They will. There'll be some of them, some of their agents, possibly planning moves now as we speak, saying, "Okay, it looks like we're going to go down. Are you interested in my client?" Don't think that these don't think that these conversations don't happen. They do. So it's always going to be on us. And this is where I don't get the mentality of people still defending these players that aren't good enough, but we'll defend them, but see our club just sink down into the championship again. Yeah. Like I say, I'm a Leeds United fan. I'm not a Player FC fan. So please. uh David Evans, yeah, let's try and lighten this up a little, kind of. To be fair to Rads, he said it would be impossible to be in a relegation fight. He was right. There's been no fight at all. I just can't believe what I've witnessed today, people. Seriously, I'm almost speechless. Even though I've been talking for a bit, I'm almost speechless. Gary Theekson saying Southampton, Spurs, Man U, West Ham points last FWP. I mean, I don't know what FWP means at this point in time. Head's gone, not gonna lie. But there's been more, more points. And again, we'll get into that in the end of season review. But so many drop points. I mean, we got 30 something points, people. We dropped a lot of points. Pathetic. Thank you for coming on and doing the stream. Thank you, Karen, as always. Big support of the channel. Thank you for that. Laurent saying, yes, KG, we were poor today, but anyone else agree the VAR decisions were odd? Which ones? Which ones? Are you talking about the one that was off, that was, could have been offside? I mean, Verba's foot was out there. He played him on. I don't know. I don't know which ones you're on about. Let me know in the chat. Oh man. Yeah, Keith, we are the only team out there that gives up when we take the lead. I don't they're just it's a mental thing. That's what I'm saying. And this is what I said when Victor Orta was gone. It's all well and good recruiting talent. You can recruit all the talent you want. We've seen though in history, talent is not always enough. You need the mentality. There's some players out there that are nowhere near as talented as other players, but they get through because of their mentality. And I don't think mentalities would check upon signing. I don't. They all look the same. They all look as meek as each other. There was a sequence at the end, by the way, where Somerville, he could have took the chance earlier. It gets blocked, and then Aronson on the half volley. I mean, he didn't do much when he came on today. But I mean, what was that? That sums it up. Just no composure. The composure is just a myth at this football club. Oh, from winning positions. Okay, yeah, got it now. Uh, Yeah, David saying, David, are you the one that keeps on posting stats in my comments? Let me know, David. We were pretty optimistic in January. Yeah, listen, the window for me was still fine, but then you've got to count everything else, and these are intangibles that we as fans can't measure. These are what the scouts are supposed to do. You bring in Verba for a defender because it's very much needed. Okay, cool. But then you know what? Let's talk about the other one, Rutter. We're down. We need a goal. He brings on Rucker and Greenwood. Rutter is nowhere to be seen again. I even if he has, I don't know, no composure at all. He will suit the rest of the team. How we were not bringing on our only forward off the bench, I don't know. It's Rucker and Greenwood that come on instead, guys. Oh boy. Oh, there's so much. There's so much we could say. Oh no. Let me take a breath. Mm. Yeah, I mean, Stephen, agree, KJ. We had to throw Rutter on like the last throw. I mean, what harm would it have done? Honestly, this is what I'm saying, and I always go back to it. Even with Gelhart, if managers aren't picking these players, there's got to be a reason behind it. We saw with Gelhart, even though in this limited time last season he would do stuff for us, but there was coaches that just weren't picking him. Okay, and it's the same with Rutter. We spent 35 million on him, and we signed him at a point for next season. Now, if we do go down at this point, which is looking likely, you know what I'm seeing with this Rutter? I don't think he's going to play in the championship. I think we're going to loan him out with a view to a permanent move elsewhere. I think he's going to go elsewhere on loan because I don't see us soaking up the wages in the champ. I just don't see it. He was bought for the Premier League because he's all technical, isn't he? He's technical. He's got good agility with his movement, but there's obviously a missing ingredient there, and that's fine. But hey, we're not seventh, not eighth. We weren't guaranteed mid-table, but they signed him like we were guaranteed mid-table. Obviously, the Rodrigo injury happened, which was terrible. It derailed, for us for a couple months, and we had to use him quicker than anticipated. But boy, hey, there's just so much we could say. So much we could say. I Blake saying, yeah, and same with Cody Drama, all not given chances. Yeah, exactly. Cody Drama should still be here, but at this point in time, it looks like he's going to be leaving. It looks like he's going to be going no matter what league we're in and no matter what league Luton are in, because Luton have got a better shot of getting to the Prem next season than we do at this point in time. Stephen saying nobody's going to pay 70,000 a week per. Yeah, it's not just the wages though, Stephen. It's that the parent club can hold some of the wages too. So I mean, even if someone half that, someone's taking Rutter on 35,000 a week. Because even though we haven't seen a lot of him, he is highly regarded around Europe. So there will be moves for him. Um, Rebecca G, long-term subscriber of the channel. Let me just flag this one up. KG, I'm so angry, sad, and lost. I don't know how the board could have been so arrogant and been able to throw away all our progress. Well, Rebecca, you've been here when I was talking about selling quite a few of these players 2 years ago. Because I remember your name, Rebecca, and you saw how people reacted. I remember when Tomori was available. Well, Frank Lampard had frozen him out at Chelsea. And I said, I'd like to get Tomori in on a 6-month loan. We probably can't afford him permanently, but let's get him in on loan. And someone, you can usually tell when people are joking, but they said, well, we don't need Tomori. We've got Cooper. That's what I'm up against when I talk about selling some of these players and trying to get better in. That's what I've been up against for years. You know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, you're right, KG. We've said the same for ages now. We have indeed. Darren B here. If we beat Spurs by at least 3 goals and Everton draw, we stay up. We also need Leicester to lose both games. Listen to the gymnastics. And it could have been so easy, Darren, just by winning this game today against on the beach, West Ham. It could have been so easy. But as always, we just make everything complicated. Chris saying, I don't think there's anyone I'd be sad to see leave. Chris, I said this to somebody else, but I'll just say it now. I cannot wait to see at least 10 of these guys go. I can't wait to see a lot of them go. And I'll be not celebrating because I didn't even celebrate when some of the other ones left like 2 years after they were supposed to go. But I can't wait to see the back of a lot of these guys. Some of them have built up way too much credit with the fan base. Some of them are living off the promotion, and it's time for them to leave. It's time for them to leave 2 years ago, and now we're suffering because of it. Shane, these questions here, who's taking KG? Shane, there's always takers for players. There's always takers. Listen, let's take Bamford. He's got 4 Premier League goals this season. There will still be clubs that will want Patrick Bamford. They will. The players and agents and stuff, they always have avenues into getting moves. Always. Even the worst players in the world can get moves. We've seen it through history. I know it seems unreal to think. Sometimes clubs think that they can get that player out of the club and it's a fresh start for them. They can get what they probably lost 2 years ago, or whatever it is. A fresh change of scenery can do them good. There's all kinds of reasons why players are still in demand, and thankfully, there's going to be players here that I don't want here, but other teams and other clubs will look to sign. There will be. Let's have a look. Yeah, I know. Oh, God. Matt Goodall here saying, let's be honest, terrible group of players, and the majority are simply not good enough, and the others are just not suited to the physicality. It's a rebuild from the top down. It's going to be a complete overhaul in the summer, from new ownership to new goalkeepers coming in, because we're definitely not keeping Melier, and I'm not sad about that either. Not sad about that either. But I want to save this for the streams at the end of the season. But so many of these players, I just cannot wait to see the back off. Just spineless, man. Gordon saying, KG, it is Leeds that takes those average players. I mean, it could be worse. They could be worse with some of the suggestions that some people have. But yeah, the thing is, some of them are talented. Some of them are talented players. But for some reason, whatever it is, when it comes to Leeds United, maybe I know Gary Hillman's going to be listening to this and he's going to say it's the gypsy curse. Always makes me laugh when he goes on a rant like that. But oh yeah, I'm starting to believe Gary. I'm starting to believe it. Oh God. Jeffro Toll saying we need them, KG. Who's going to keep the morale up in the dressing room? Dressing rooms, it's a mess. It's a mess anyway. It's quite clear of that as well, isn't it? Uh, Spen saying we've all seemed to have forgotten our best player, Tyler Adams. Imagine we had him for the end of the season. Look, Tyler Adams was key to, I mean, look, we got 30 something points. He was key to a lot of those points being won. His role in the team is the one that goes unsung. It goes unnoticed unless you have a real bad game. That's when people want to pull you up. But he was doing a lot of the covering at centre back. He was doing a lot of the covering for the right backs, whoever was playing, and stinking it up on that side. He was vital. He used to drive us forward, on field leadership, everything that you need, and his injury as partly killed us. This is why I'm saying it's not just about the players that have played; it's about the players that have been unavailable for whatever reason. That's part of the reason why we're in the position we're in, and why we haven't accumulated more points. We've missed players like him. He's one of the only players that I can see now doing the next Calvin Phillips and Rafinha and going to a club that's in the Champions League. He's probably the only one. Um, yeah, missed that guy. Michael Michael Brown here. KG, the stats don't lie. 7 wins all season. Second worst away record of 2 wins. Most goals conceded in the Premier League, 74 last season. Leeds conceded 78 goals. The worst Premier League for 21-22. Look at all those goals. Yeah. But we ran back the same defensive core and goalkeeper. Crazy, isn't it? Fante saying exactly. It's probably the worst 3 months I've seen in the history of the club. It's completely beyond belief. Yeah, I mean there was more fight. I remember getting relegated to League One. There was more fight in that team. There was definitely more fight in that team when we got relegated to League One. Yeah, I mean when we first got relegated from the Prem, there was definitely better quality in that team, and that's why I can never have when people mention the promoted squad talking against, some of the guys in this background now. They'd be cleaning their boots. They're nowhere near the quality of the teams that we had in the Champions League. And then there's fans older than me that have seen us win leagues, win FA Cups, and will say that the Champions League squad is nowhere near that. But at least that's a standard to aspire to. We never ever reached that again. Never reached that. Not with this current squad anyway. Jim saying we have talented young players, but without trusted quality older players, they can't express themselves as they should. Great comment, Jim. Great comment. The only thing I would say though, Jim, is that Somerville, what is it, 10 games, 11 games now since he last scored. Nonto hasn't been himself since being frozen out by Gracia, and I think that was pretty obvious anyway that his game's changed. But you're right, the older players are not the experience that you need. People always talk about you need experience, but you need quality in that experience too. Remember that thing Sir Alex always said? You can have about 3 average players in your team, no more. Unfortunately, we got way more than 3. Um, St. Helens Whites, KG, what do you think our spending pot will be next season? It all depends, isn't it? We've got money to pay out to. We've still got outstanding transfer fees from like Dan James, Jorginho Rutter. That's got to be covered. Then we've also got the JKA stuff that needs to be paid. Leipzig need to be paid. There's quite a bit of money that needs to go out on transfers that we're still paying for now. So it's going to be interesting, isn't it? If at this point, the parachute payments we're going to see, aren't we? We're going to see exactly what's going on. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't even thought about signings for the championship. The video that I've got ready to prepare to do, but they're all Premier League. It's all players that could take us to the next step in the Premier League, and I'm gonna have to just scrap this note I've got. It's insane. I was planning on. Oh, I had some real good names, and it's just for no reason now. It's just for no reason. Oh, let me just get onto the super chats. Oh. God. Alex here. Football is a great way to avoid the everyday stresses in life. As fans, we support, put time and effort in, spend our hard earned cash, buy merch, etc. Maddening when the club is not successful. Yeah. Listen, there's always got to be three teams that go down, right? There's always three teams that go down. I just, I didn't think that it would be us this season. I didn't think that we would go through this again and then fall through the trapdoor. Last season should have been the lesson, and we didn't learn from it. Yeah, Gary, yeah, got it. Yeah, points from winning positions, got it now. Radaby Leeds saying a sad day for the fans. 2 years of mismanagement from the board, poor transfers, awful managerial appointments. All we can do is look forward now. Mm, yeah, I'm not there just yet. Radaby Leeds. It's probably going to take the end of the season for me to look forward at this point in time. Right now, I'm just very hurt, disappointed from what we've been served up over the last 2 years. But of course, we have to move on eventually. But I'm just not there at this point in time. Owood saying, never donated, but scrap it. You deserve something. Shout out to you, Owood. Thank you so much for that. Carlos saying, I've seen it coming from Jan. The club is in a mess from top to bottom. I can't believe that performance they gave up, which is unacceptable. Hurting today, brother. Yeah. Well, most of us are hurting. I'm not going to say all of us because some of us are saying calm down. So obviously, not everyone is hurting, but yeah, a lot of us are hurting today. Bradley Pickles, super chat, thank you. Forshaw, again with the Forshaw misspelling, it shows you just how much notice people take of Forshaw. It's without the E. But Forshaw is our best midfielder. Doesn't that show go to show what Orta's fed us the past 2 to 3 years? Zero chemistry all season and never improved. Yeah. Listen, one of the names I had to sign in, listen, it's not going to happen now. So I might as well say it was Enzo Lefebvre. I did a video about him in January. Boy, that's a long, long way away. Enzo Lefebvre. I see him now being linked to other teams now, so I don't think it was ever going to happen. But that's the kind of quality I'm looking at, And Bradley here saying Forshaw still starting for us in 2023 kind of tells you everything, doesn't it? Carl Brown, thanks, KG. Love the content, my friend. Shout out to you, Carl. Thank you for that. Jim Howson, if Leeds go down, who would you pick for manager? Jim, again, shout out for the super chat, but not really thinking about that at this point in time. Maybe we'll see what happens at the end of the season. Maybe Sam stays on. Who knows? But until we know what's going on, we'll talk about it then. Not really thinking about that at this point in time. Radaby Leeds saying, can we finally acknowledge how shocking Harrison has been all season, apart from a 3-4 game purple patch under Gracia? Aronson 2 with 1 goal. What I will say on that Radaby Leeds in terms of Aronson is, and I'll never forget that he was robbed of so many assists early this season from Bamford's poor finishing. He thread that ball through and Bamford just wouldn't finish them. So he's been robbed of numbers himself this season. So it's very difficult for me to look at it from a numbers point of view in that way. But 100% since after the World Cup, he's been missing, hasn't he? Aronson has been so bad. But Harrison, it's what we get, isn't it? It's what we always get. He had that purple patch. They struck while the iron was hot. Give him a 5-year contract, and he's another one. No, I don't think he's guaranteed to stay with us. I think assurances. I think it's more on the playing side, and I think it's on if a better club comes in for him that will let him go. I think it's going to be one of those kind of things. But yeah, I listen. We're going to talk about these players at the end of the season when we got time. We can really, digest everything that's happened and talk about every player individually, if you like. Let me just see if Big Sam's come out with any quotes yet. While I'm doing that, please, there's been over 1,000 people in here. Please hit the like button on the video. It is the best way to support the channel. And yeah, that's all I got. Just please hit the like button, please. Right. Okay. Big Sam quotes. Let's go. All right. Here we are. Allardyce's reaction. This is from Phil Hayes' Twitter. Not scoring enough goals when you're on top, not showing enough quality in the final third. You've got to expect West Ham are going to get in the game. We didn't show enough quality. Even in the first half, we create opportunities to score more. When we gone 1-0 up, we haven't kept a clean sheet for a long time. That's why I wanted more than 1 goal, but we didn't get it. Quality at both ends is where we really lack. The 2 critical areas are particularly disappointing. You can't cause people problems without scoring at this level. We're at the bottom of the league and opposition are bound to come in the game at some stage. You have to defend better. Allardyce says a big problem is the strength and depth of the squad. Guys, this is what I've said. I'm the one that said about having quality in depth because people will always say, keep these guys around, keep your Forshaws, keep your Coopers, keep your Ailings, your Bamfords around for depth on the bench. And I say, nah, that isn't quality in depth though. It's depth, but it's not quality in depth. And this is why these are the reasons why we're in the positions we're in because the squad makeup is so bad. Even Junior Firpo, he had like what was it, a month of good performances, and he's back to being junior again. I know he didn't play today, but that's what I'm saying. You just have to have better. It's not, but the thing is, fans get sucked in, even me as sometimes. So it's not just I'm not just talking about everyone else. We get sucked in by a couple games and think, hmm, maybe this guy could do something for us next season. But I've been off that train for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. Okay. I think that's it with Sam Allardyce. Has he said anything else? No, that is it. But yeah. Um, Getting relegated at home on the last day, fantastic. We'll see how it is. Hopefully the atmosphere will be good there. Anyway, Ryan here saying watch Forshaw get a 1 year extension. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. But the thing is, as well, with that, even though people want to big up the Forshaw, the fact that he's on the pitch, I think that's what he's getting marks for. He's been unreliable for 3 years. Not his fault. I still give him all the credit in the world for coming back from that injury because I thought he was done. I thought his hip was done. But fair play to him for coming back seriously, and I mean that with everything because that mentally must have been taxing. But he's not. He was never a Premier League football. Not in this lifetime. But the problem is when he has a half decent performance, you see the official counts put out his heat map. Everyone underneath saying, "Give him another deal. Give him a pay as you play deal. Give him another year." It's like this is it. This is why. Michelle Lee here. Need to put the B squad on for the final game. Well, Michelle, which is the B squad? Let me know. Let me know. Oh, guys. SJ here saying Forshaw look decent because he replaced Rucker, who's truly awful. And you know what, with Rucker as well, I was liking what I seen of him at the start of the year. But this is where again, and this is going to come up again at the end of the season. But this is where Mateus Click was on the bench. He should have been putting in the performances like he did against Wolves at the start of the season. If you can remember that, that was a brilliant cameo. But he did nothing for the rest of his cameos. He didn't do diddly squat except for in the game against Barnsley in the Carabao Cup. And he should have been looking to push Rocker out the team. He should have been looking to go next Adams. But you know what would have been better? If Mateus Click was sold in the summer and we got somebody better in anyway. That would have been better. But hey, listen. uh, the thing as well with Rocker, what really concerned me is that he still looks like he can't complete 90 minutes as well, by the way. That's just poor. I thought at first it was because he hasn't played a lot of football because of being at Bayern Munich and everything else like that. But as a professional, you've got to look like you can complete 90 minutes, and he hasn't done that all season long, which is, yeah. Fante saying everything on the line today, and we were sickly, and we were like a sickly lukewarm coffee, only good for spitting out. Well, big pause on that, Fante. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Let me see if there's anything else. What an absolute horror show, man! Horror show. Is there anything else? No, I've actually hit everything in annoyance and anger. I've actually hit everything. I've actually hit all my notes that I've got. So I'm good. I'm good. Uh, Sorry, hold on there. Chris Harrison saying should be these lads wanted to die for the badge. I saw it as a way to get a pay rise or bump to another team. Now there's no dying for the badge. I try and say this, but it seems to shatter people's dreams and everything else and their illusions. But players don't care about the badge they play for. They don't. They just care about the wages that are coming in. Look, it's not like it used to be. Football, they used to really want it. They used to want it, but now it's all about where can I get my best contract. And you know what? I'm not mad at that. I'm really not mad at that. It's a short career. Get the money what you can. Cool. But it's when fans want the players to die for the badge. It don't happen. It just doesn't happen. Especially when we're in the position we're in. You've seen it. The players didn't want it today. None of them. Not one of them wanted it. Rodrigo, yeah, okay, cool. But it's a different game now. It's a different game. They love the game of football, but they don't necessarily love the club they're playing for. And I'm sorry, that's just the reality of football players these days. Um, thanks, KG. John saying, thanks, KG. You've kept me saying despite the slow motion car wreck of the season. Yeah, it's been a slow death in it. Death by 1,000 cuts. Here we are. I think PH Leeds here was saying, "How dare they try and kiss the badge?" But, I mean, you see it though, don't you? You've seen players move to like 3, 4 clubs. They all kiss the badge at every single club they're at. It doesn't mean it like it used to. And I just wish fans need to just get used to that and try and get that in their minds. It's just a game to them. They'll be on holiday in a couple of weeks' time. They won't even think about this. They're just letting their agents get to work and say, "Where am I going to be next season?" That's the reality, cold reality. It's only us as fans that will be here. We were here after the Champions League collapse. We were here from the relegation to the Championship. We were here in League One. We're the only constant, and that's all you can rely on, people. That is all the constant you can rely on. Ashton Mills here saying 5-0 against Tottenham. Kane once out. We'll see. Uh, Slow, steady, Steve. We only have 90 minutes left to suffer these players. Yeah. Yeah, I've been wanting this season to end for like 3 months now. It's finally coming to a head next week, and yeah, I can't wait. Uh, yeah, I think that's it, people. I think I'm done. Is there any other last minute ones you want to get in? Lee Waters here. Where does the fight come from for other teams? I see Forest fighting for their lives in the last few weeks. We've been awful. Lee, this is what I'm talking about. And I always forget the striker's name for Forest. Taiwo. I'm gonna call him Taiwo. You know, he's come to the party. He's not a great striker. He's not. But what he's done is he scored goals in the last few, month or so to keep them up. That's what he's done. And this is where I get headaches when I see people now. There'll still be people in the comments today that will still come in and talk about Bamford's hold up play. But where's the goals? This is what happens in terms of when we've got such bad football players. You start to talk about all the ancillary attributes that they've got rather than primary. You never heard about Aguero needing to work hard. You never heard that. You never heard Henri being covering loads of the pitch. You never heard any of that. You know why? Because they used to do their jobs. Those players used to do their jobs. Taiwo has got, what is it, 5 goals in? Yeah, he's got something like 5 goals in 8 games or something like that. We could have done with our striker doing that, but instead, he's gone through what he's gone through this week, and I don't condone that one bit. But he's still going to get love, like he's done a lot for us this season. He's done nothing but miss loads of chances, but he'll still get the same kind of love that Taiwo's getting at Nottingham Forest. It's insane to me. People want all the hold up, they want running, they want this and that. How about some manipulation with the ball? I know it's a crazy thing, crazy idea, but how about some manipulation with the ball? But people don't seem to care about that. Don't care about that. They want all the intangibles. They want all the intangible attributes, not the primary one that footballers are supposed to have. Um, AC, are you going to the Tottenham match, KG? Hmm. Oh man. I Blake saying one last thing. Thank you for an excellent stream over the whole of the season. Yeah, no problem, man. I'm in a my head's actually absolutely fried. I'm not gonna lie, but no, seriously, thank you for always tuning in. And if you don't watch live, you watch replays. All the support is very much appreciated. Listen, the content will be a little bit different next year. I was planning on doing more stuff anyway. Obviously, it's just going to be without Leeds. which is I think will be a good thing as well. There will still be Leeds United content, of course there will, but finding streams in the championship, I don't know if you guys can remember that. It's very difficult. So, so yeah, listen, we'll talk about all that in the summer. 14-14 Yorks. Yeah, but you could see how bad we were without Bamford. We couldn't get out our own half. This is what I'm talking about. I hear what you're saying, Yorks, but what does that matter? Where's the goals? He's keeping the ball. Where's the goals? Wh- what are we talking about here? So I'm talking about. Listen, we're always gonna get. It don't matter. Don't matter. Uh, Darren. Oh my God. Need to go back to paying for LUTV. Oh no. Hmm. And one of the worst things as well. It's all those teams that see us as their big cup final. One of them's coming back next year as well, either Sheffield Wednesday or Barnsley. And we always had problems against one of those two teams. I'm just glad Chris Dagnall don't play no more. Just glad. Ain't he? It's sinking in live on air, bro. Or sis, whatever you are, it's sinking in live on air. I just the league is so bad. So bad. I've seen the highlights as well. They see the football is dreadful. Ah, oh, my head's starting to hurt. My head's starting to hurt, people. Save me. Save me, people. Mark saying, I don't want to sound melodramatic, but this hurts, and I mean physically. Mark, yeah, like I said, I've been the same. I told you all before the Bournemouth game, I could hardly sleep. That's how much it was getting to me because and this is what people want to hear. But not only as a fan, as a content creator as well, it kind of well, it does. It will affect me because the Premier League is big for just casual viewing numbers. I mean, I know that 30 of you will be here for Coventry away if they don't go up, but it's just a whole other thing. But I already had like contingency plans for next season anyway. But yeah, it's just been a headache all round. That's what I'm saying. It's not just me. There'll be people inside the club that are employed by Leeds United that will be hurting as well. Oh, God. Ryan. Oh, Ryan. Plymouth away. I'll buy you an ice cream with Plymouth. This is what I'm saying. Ryan remembers it. I forgot even I said it. It's either Plymouth or Liverpool next season. What we're gonna do? Well, yeah. God. You know what, people? I'm gonna leave it there. And like I said, I'll be back next Friday. Okay, don't expect a stream from me beforehand. I am gonna be away next week. But yeah, be back next Friday for the Spurs preview. Please hit a like on the video. The only joy I'm gonna get out of this. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, drop your comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Let's leave it on that one. Frank saying, I'm fed up. Me too. Peace out, people.